Good morning, students. Welcome back to your online classes. Wish you a happy and a prosperous new year. So, let's start the chapter. Today I'll teach to standard 6 children chapter 18, that is adverbs. Adverb is a word that adds to the meaning of a verb. It tells us something about the action in a sentence by modifying a verb, an adverb, an adjective, a preposition, or a phrase. An adverb is a word that is used to modify or add information. It is used to modify or add information to a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Sometimes adverb also modifies a whole sentence. Like for example, honestly, I did not mean to offend you. Here, honestly is the adverb and it is modifying the entire sentence. Like for example, Nita spoke well. It is modifying the verb spoke. Nita spoke very well. Here, in the second sentence, as you can see, it is modifying the adverb well. Now, the most adverbs tells you how something happened end in ly, and adverbs can usually be made by adding ly to the adjective form of the words. Like for example, as you can see, quick, quickly, real, really, complete, completely. So it can be formed by adding ly to the adjective form of the words. Now the types of adverb. Adverb of manner. They tell us how or in what manner the action is performed. Means they answer the question how or in what manner. They tell us how the action take place. Like for example, Ria nodded and smiled warmly. The children lined up quickly. As you can see the example here also, the children lined up. How? The children lined up quickly. So adverb of manner tells us how or in what manner the action is performed. They answer the question how or in what manner. That tells us how the action take place. Adverb of place. Adverb of place tell you where the action take place. They tell us where the action occurs and generally answer the question where. For example, she turned left and began walking. She turned where? She turned left and began walking. Leave your shoes outside. Adverb of time. Adverb of time tell you when the action take place. They indicate definite point and relationship in time. They answer the question when. So adverb of time tell us when the action take place. They indicate the definite point and relationship in time. For example, it is cold outside. I shall meet you afterwards. I shall meet you when? I shall meet you afterwards. So, adverb of manner, it tells us how or in what manner the action is performed. As you can see the example, Ria nodded and smiled warmly. Adverb of place tells you where the action take place. Like for example, she turned left and began walking. An adverb of time tell you when the action take place. They indicate the definite point and relationship in time. They answer the question when. Like for example, it is cold today. Now the next type is adverb of frequency. They tell you how often the action is performed. It means how often the action take place, and it generally answer the question how often. As you can see the examples, Reena is always late for class. She seldom eats sweet. Here seldom is the adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency. He rarely visits us these days. She pays her rent on a monthly basis. So adverb of frequency tells us how often the action is performed. It means how often the action take place, and it generally answer the question how often. Now adverb of frequency usually go before most verbs but after the auxiliary verb. And in questions, these adverbs usually go after auxiliary verb plus subject. Like you can see the example, Tom has always been like this. So in the first example, as you can see, the adverb of frequency, it's used before the verb and after the auxiliary verb. But when it is used as a question, it goes after the auxiliary verb. As you can see, has Tom, auxiliary verb, then the subject. Tom. Has Tom always been like this? So when it is used in question, it is used after it usually go after auxiliary verb plus subject. Has Tom always, it goes after the auxiliary verb plus subject. Adverb of degree shows to what extent a quality is possessed by a person or thing. They tell us how intensely the action take place. So adverb of degree tell us the degree or extent of an action, and answer the question how much or in what degree or to what extent. It generally answer the question how much or in what degree or to what extent. They tell us the degree or extent of an action. Like for example, I had almost forgotten about the deadlines. She was quite sick for a week. Now, integrative adverbs. Adverbs that ask questions about the time, place, and manner of an action and the reason for the action are called integrative adverbs. So, integrative adverbs are used to ask question. These are when, where, how, and why. Like you can see the example, how can we sort out this problem? It is used as integrative adverb of manner. Where are you? Where are they going? Integrative adverb of place. When will the show begin? Integrative adverb of time. How cold is it outside? Integrative adverb of degree. So integrative adverb, they are used to ask question. They ask question about time, place and manner and reason for the action. These are when, where, how and why. Thank you, student. In the next video, I will explain about the positions of adverb and the comparisons of adverb and also about the formation of adverb of manner. Thank you.